Hey, what's up YouTube? It's abluegolfball here today with another Pokemon TCG online video, and today I have for you guys a Thundurus EX deck. This deck has been a deck that I was curious about building since Roaring Skies came out. So Thundurus EX is a lightning Pokemon, 170 HP, 2 retreat costs. It's metal resistant, but weak to fighting, which is a bit of a bummer. The first attack is going to be the main attack we're going to focus on. We could potentially use Voltage Rush as well. The first attack here, Headlock. Flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 30 more damage. If tails, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. And so what we're going to be doing is we're not using Victini, alright? I'll tell you guys why. Now, the main attack is going to be Headlock. We're going to focus here. We're going to try to get a turn 2 Headlock. What we want to do is go first, put an energy on, ideally have Thundurus in the active spot, and pass the turn, coming into our turn 2, get another energy down, and Headlock right away, locking our opponent, paralyzing them. And I'm not playing Victini, I'm going to be playing this card right here, which is Trick Coin. And so it's the same ability as Victini. For one reason is Victini is getting rotated out, but I don't want to use abilities, right? Trick Coin can allow you to reflip, and you can only use it once per turn, you know, on the Pokemon. So here's the deal, alright? We will be playing Silent Lab. Now, I'm doing this because of particular Pokemon like Virizion EX and Keldeo EX. Keldeo with a Floatstone, or Keldeo with Fairy Garden and Fairy Energy, or Keldeo with Darkrai. You get the idea. Rush in, retreat. That's a major headache for this deck if we want to put our Pokemon in a paralysis state where they can't move and they just kind of pass its turn. That's the ideal matchup. Otherwise, there is Virizion EX with you know, the ability Verdant Wind, blocking out all special conditions. Of course, there is Slurpuff, and yeah, no one ever plays that anyways. And so that's from the base set XY. It has a similar ability as Virizion EX. But yeah, Silent Lab can stop things, even like Wobbuffet, right? And Wobbuffet's supposed to stop our abilities, you know? And it stops Shaman EX, stops Execute, a whole bunch of things. So I appreciate this card quite a bit. We will have Verbank Citygem 2, one of these went off for the Hypnotoxic Lasers. Otherwise, again, Thundurus EX, the ability to control our coin flips, at least moderately control, is actually pretty cool. So we're going to be focusing on that. And otherwise, we'll have a backup attacker, 2/2 line of Raichu here, just for scenarios against Pyroar and Sigilyph and Suicune. If we ever run into that, we get our Raichu out, we can actually try to get a knockout this way. We will have a 1/1 line of Electrode. I thought this can fit nicely into this deck. Electrode has seen less play. Drawing into 4 is not as strong anymore since there's so many other good item cards out there. But you know, it's pretty nice whenever your opponent ends you down to like 1 and you can still Magnetic Draw for 3 more. It's kind of sweet. So. And if all else fails, there's Mewtwo EX, because as you can see, everything here is weak against fighting. And that way we have Mewtwo EX here with X-Ball. We can actually hit for non-fighting weakness, and it's pretty good. So that's it for the Pokemon line, pretty thin. Let's take a look at the item cards and whatnot. We're going to be playing Dowsing Machine as the expected choice. This way we can just get some resources from the discard pile. We have Energy Retrieval, 1 of these, 4 Hypnotoxic Lasers, 3 switches. Now, we need a lot of switches. Why? Well, in particular, both Thundurus EX and Mewtwo EX have a high retreat cost. Well, highs, and it's not cheap. I mean, yes, 3 is considered high, but even Electrode, we don't really want to retreat with him either. And so we're going to be playing a really heavy line of switches. Trainer's Mail, I really like that card. Can't wait for the Secret Rare. We got the Ultra Ball for these, VS Seekers for those, Colrus, and Lysander, and 3 of these, 1 Professor Birch, and 4 Juniper. And then we have the Shadow Triad. This way we can play the 4 VS Seekers here for the Shadow Triad for the lasers. So we can actually laser a whole bunch more times. And that's pretty cool, including Dowsing Machine. Oh my goodness. So that means we can potentially play this Shadow Triad 4 times, and 8 plus another Dowsing Machine. We can play Laser a total of 9 times. We already talked about the stadiums, we talked about the Trick Coin already. We just have 3 DCEs and 9 Lightning Energies. Alright, without further ado, let's go ahead and see this deck in action on Pokemon TCG Online. Alright, and looks like we're off. We're going to be playing against Dr. Silver, and Dr. Silver has the advantage. Let's go ahead. We will win the coin toss going first, and take a look at this. It's going to be a Shift Tree deck. It's going to be very interesting. we'll lead with the Thundurus. We do have another Thundurus and a Electrode, or Voltorb, I mean. We can play onto the bench, but I'm going to hang on to them for now. We get to go first anyways, so that way we can always bench them first. And so let's survey first. Let's see, we can play the Lightning Energy. Might as well play him now. And we'll go with the Hypnotoxic Laser. I'll even play the Trick Coin here. And I'm going to go with the N. We'll save that DCE in case we need it for the Raichu. Let's go for the Trainer's Melee. We've got an Energy Retrieval. Probably won't be needing that anytime soon, but take that out of the deck first. Hey, a Verbank City Gem. I'll take that. And here we go. The poor Miltank will be taking on 30 damage in between phases right now, unless my opponent counters the Stadium or heals the poison damage somehow. And we do see the Shift Tree line getting ready to go here. One of them on the bench, and then also another Miltank hitting the floor. And my opponent at 6 cards can still do a variety of different things. We gotta look. We gotta wait and see what else can happen here. We could see something like a switch or anything like that. Could see Wally as well. Who knows? And oh, there it is. There's an energy drop. Looks like my opponent's gonna be using the Miltank to tank. Get it? Fine. All right. So my opponent plays a Professor Birch's Observation, Flippin' Tails, drawing into only 4 cards, and that's kind of the risk with Professor Birch. And that's it. My opponent passes the turn. We don't really have much we can do here. I do have an energy which we can play, and that way we can at least start attacking. But that should finish off the Miltank. Doesn't matter if we flip tails or not. And might as well see if we can get more damage on the board. And we can hit for 60. So that's a nice thing about Trick Coin. Look at that. We can control if we want heads or if we want tails, depending on the situation. And can you imagine if my opponent was able to get you know, let's say heal, maybe a not professor, but a Pokemon Center Lady, right? We could have still finished them off right there if we would have flipped heads and plus the Hypnotoxic Laser. Actually, no, we wouldn't. But hey, we'll take that knockout. And my opponent hits for 10 for Powerful Friends. We do see a DC over there, but and we're going to play it slow. Let's go for the laser here and go for the headlock. And sure, I think we'll take the tails and we'll put that in a paralysis state. And so we'll take the advantage here with the Miltank paralyzed. And yeah, this is it. This is the showcase of Thundurus EX here. The ability to control your flips. And that is absolutely valuable right now, especially when you're up against certain kind of scenarios where, you know, you just need to buy a turn. And you can slowly chip away. But again, you gotta have that Stadium out there, Silent Lab, in case you're playing against Virizion or if you're playing against Keldeo with Floatstone, things like that. And so you can stop those kind of abilities. Otherwise, the only thing you need to fear for is Switch. Or the only thing you need to fear is fear itself. I'm just kidding. Anyways, Shift Tree comes out into play, so my opponent can actually start drawing some more cards, discarding a Grass Energy to draw into 3 more cards. But that is a really sweet ability. Changing every Grass Energy into a Sharon is pretty solid. So we'll go with this right there. Have it on the Thundurus, and we'll go with the Ultra Ball. We'll discard these, and might as well get the Electro, drawing some more cards. It's not so shabby. Alright, we'll just end up Junipering anyways. Alright, so we do get another Thundurus here. We got all 3 Thundurus that we ever will need in our lifetime here. And we even have the Silent Lab, but I'm going to keep the Verbank City Gym out there. It doesn't look like my opponent uses any abilities for basics, so we'll just go with a knockout here. Might as well. Maybe not. Alright, we'll just hit for 30. Forget it. Just get the knockout. And hey, we got a Colress right there. That's pretty good. We can play the Mewtwo, and that way we can still get 6 cards. But again, my opponent's Shift Tree does a lot more damage with more Pokemon on the field, but we have nothing to fear. We can probably take out this Tropius here in one shot, if we really wanted to. We could probably just play for the paralysis and, you know, and take it slow. But let's go with the Colress. We'll just for 5. You know, I'll take my chances with drawing one less card. And yeah, let's go for the laser. I don't know, headlock. Yeah, we'll just, I don't know. Do we want the knockout? Do we want it? Alright, we'll just take the knockout. So, I don't know. I was really debating if we want to just stall my opponent a little bit more, but hey, we'll take the knockout, and the Shift Tree will come into play. We do have a Hypnotoxic Laser in our hand. We do have another Trick Coin in our hand as well as the DCE, so we can power up the Thundurus on the bench, and we have another one ready to go. We get to see the Raichus, Pikachus, but you know, that's okay. This is a Thundurus EX deck, and so we'll keep it that way. A Genesect comes onto the bench, the non-EX one. This is not the one from Legendary Treasures either. That one has, I think, I don't know, I forgot what the attack is called, but it's similar to Keldeal's attack. but it requires 4 energy. But you know, my opponent goes for a Colress for 5 as well, and there we go. We see the energy drop right there. Could have seen my opponent play the energy for 3 more cards. That's definitely an option too. But gotta wait and see what's gonna happen here. My opponent can still retreat into the shift tree, and if we can just paralyze the shift tree and just kind of take control of the game that way. But if that doesn't happen, we'll knock out the C dot right here. And oh, never mind, my opponent does retreat, and we should be set to go. All right, here it is. Here is the shift tree and our Thundurus EX here. We'll take a hit for us, but hey, we got one on the bench. We even got a Professor Birch's observation, and there we go. My opponent is piling up the bench right now, and that is 120. He's got 30 HP left. We do have a Mewtwo that we can play. Go with the Hypno Laser. Might as well. I think we can play the Mewtwo. Forget it. We'll just go with the Professor Birch. Flipping Tails. Got the Lightning Energy. We'll just take the knockout right here. Let's just go for it, guys. Yeah, I think this is looking pretty good. We'll go with the Voltage Rush. First of all, we should do make energy draw. This is another DC. Whatever. Anyways, we'll knock ourselves out. Get it? Knock yourself out. You know, my opponent doesn't have anything on his side of the field. You know, there's nothing powered up. If anything, you could see the Genesect come into play. We do have a Lysander in hand, so if you know the C dot doesn't evolve, we just Lysander out the C dots, take them out one at a time, hit for 60. That's a knockout, and yeah, we'll just kind of pick them off, you know. So we can control our destiny right now. We can control our fate, and that was kind of a sacrifice we had to make. Of course, we can always go for the paralysis and go for a slower state, but we want to put more pressure on my opponent and make it so that it'd be more difficult for my opponent to get more shift trees going. But you never know. Anyways, my opponent here brings out the Genesect with the energy drop, and here is a rare candy. Oh no, I didn't want to see that, but we saw it. So anyways, shift tree is out there, and well, hey, we got the Lysander. We can actually Lysander that shift tree and chip away, hit him first before he hit us. You know, that's kind of the plan. And if we can do that, that'd be fantastic. My opponent goes for a Call for Family, bringing out some more grass Pokemon, which is it's pretty nice. You know, Call for Family, bring out some grass Pokemon, pretty consistent. And also, you know, Genesect ain't no slouch. It can take a hit. So you know, we can always VA Secret it back. I'm gonna go this route here, and that way we can draw into some more cards using the Electrode. So we'll bring out this shift tree. We'll hit him first before he hits us, and maybe even paralyze him. So looking pretty good. We'll go with the Headlock right here. Flipping Tails. That's what we want. No need. And we'll hit for 30. Hopefully my opponent does not have an escape rope or switch. That's not ideal, but right now we are at 18 cards. My opponent is at 26, and with the energy DCE drop on that C dot right there, my opponent plays an N. We are down to 2, and oh, look at that, we get N into a VS Seeker and a switch. That's really nice. So even if we see an escape rope, we should be okay. And there it is. Looks like everything is falling according to plan here, folks. Let's go ahead. We'll just hit my opponent again, and oh wait, we can probably just go for the Voltage Ball. Let's just go. Alright, Voltage Rush right here. Voltage Rush. We'll get the knockout. Put a lot of pressure on my opponent. And if my opponent has the Shift Tree. Oh, never mind. We see a Miltank. The Miltank can still put a lot of damage on us. We can still see 100 damage with a Muscle Band if my opponent can get the Shift Tree out. And there is a Colress for 6. Now, you know, we can definitely knock ourselves out, and my opponent will take 2 prizes, but we'll take the last prize and we will take the win. So here it is. My opponent can get a Muscle Band and definitely put a lot of pressure on us, hit us for 100 damage. We'll survive the turn by 20, but that's it. We get hit for 80, and you know what? I'm going to Lysander out this Shift Tree because that Shift Tree is the bane of this deck, and well, not really, but we gotta take this Shift Tree out. It's a little bit more honoring that way, taking out the best player, huh? I'm just kidding. Anyways, well, that was pretty enjoyable, and you guys got to see the power of Thundurus EX. Maybe it has some potential, probably not. I'm just kidding. Thundurus EX is still a joke of a card, perhaps, but hey, the ability to control your attack is pretty sweet, and I like that. So, anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and if you are a returning subscriber, thanks for watching and supporting this channel, supporting me and the content here. So, if you guys all have a wonderful day, take care, and yes, I apologize, I'm only playing one game because, you know, life gets at you, but yeah, so you guys all take care, have a wonderful day, I'll see you guys later, goodbye.